Hey, John here, DVWhat in the forums and on Twitter, and welcome to the long-awaited episode 13 of Meet the Sportsracers, an opportunity to meet some of the very interesting and amazing folks who populated the community forums over at zfrank.com. Special note, in a recent Spotlight episode, I noted that these forums are currently defunct. While they do continue to operate, they are no longer moderated and are badly overrun with spam. You can view that Spotlight video right here for more information. Now, there are ongoing valiant efforts to resuscitate community interaction in the forums, and I'll be sure to update you through this video series if we see development on that front. In this episode, we meet Helen, known to forumnistas as Helsbells, and in this first part of a multi-part interview with Helen, we discuss the early incubation of the Sportsracer collective and the appeal of collaborative creation. I'll also add that this interview was recorded well over a year ago, and as with some of the upcoming episodes, has been long delayed due to an unintended series hiatus. And so I apologize to Helen, as well as to all our viewers for this very long wait, and I thank you so much for sticking with me. If you're new to this series and want to catch up with earlier episodes, you can check out this YouTube playlist going all the way back to episode 1. And if you're viewing on a mobile device or with a YouTube viewer that doesn't support embedded links, you can find those links in the video description along with more information about this project. All right, let's get to episode 13. Hi, John here, DVWhat in the forums, and I'm thrilled to be bringing to you another episode of Meet the Sportsracers. And today we get to meet Helen, who most of you probably know in the forums as Helsbells. And Helen, I'm very pleased to welcome you to this episode today. Thanks for being here.
I'm super excited to be here. I sort of still can't even believe that I was nominated.
And that's kind of the nature of the project is, we're a community and we're just kind of connecting with one another in all kinds of different and exciting ways. And this is another one that I'm very happy to be part of, and getting to meet people like you as well. So welcome. And I'm very thrilled to have you here.
Thank you.
So let's get into home base here a little bit and talk about your involvement in the sports racer community. Can I ask a little bit about your sports racer history or how you happened upon it, how you found Zay, or what drew you to become part of the sports racer community, and how long have you been?
I have known about Zay Frank for a very, very long time. What year was it that I first discovered him? It must have been, the show was in 2006, I believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I must have discovered him in 2005.
Wow.
And it was because, and I don't know how, I wish I could remember, but he has this video, which is a Christmas Santa call-in line, and he's an elf reading these Christmas requests. And the gimmick is you press the record button and then you replay your Christmas wish to make sure it was recorded correctly. And then he, as this elf, reads the most outrageous things. That's what your Christmas wish was. And I don't even want to say how many times I watched that. The first time I found it. It was like way too many. But because of that, I found his website. And I used to go and just fiddle around. And the most favorite thing on his website for me was the oranges. And it's just this little blank screen it starts as. And you click anywhere and oranges grow.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I have, and there's a couple of different projects that he also built up that have some similarity of general style of that. And that seems to be, from some of the folks I've talked to, that kind of thing that really first captivated them and drew them in was the uniqueness of that style.
Yeah, and then it's, I just would go back if I was bored, or every couple of months I would go and see if there were new things, because little things would pop up.
Yeah.
And then I think the next year or the year after is when he made his Valentine's video. And that is when I was like, this guy is a genius. And I showed his Valentine's video to every single person I knew that year. And the next year, I think I did the same thing. Anyway, so whatever year 2006 was,
Yeah.
I showed somebody the Valentine's video. And then later they were like, hey, does he have any more videos? So I showed my friend the website, and we were looking around, and that's when she was like, hey, what's that? And I clicked on it, and it was the show. And it had already been going for a couple of months. It was the summer.
Right.
And I was
Okay.
like,
And it was a daily thing at that point, so you were able to get a new fix every day of the week with his unique style of intellect.
exactly. And I really, really liked that it was international because, I mean, it was but with the international flair, and a lot of it was straight out international,
Right.
which was because I'm Bermudian, I was living in Canada, and you know, poor Canada has a lot of. Sometimes it gets tired of America.
Oh. So do Americans.
Anyway, I'm leaving that alone. You two can work that out. So it was really, really interesting and a really awesome perspective and very fun. But then, he started these projects and asking people to get involved in things and joining the forum. And I can't even believe that I joined the forum because I am not really an internet interaction person.
Okay.
I have never considered myself to be, at any rate. I have always been into ecology. And in Canada where I lived, I was part of this really great community. And most of my time was spent outdoors with real people. And I was like, this internet thing, I watch this guy because he's awesome. But, these other internet people. But, he just has that, he draws you in. So I joined the forum.
Yeah. Yeah.
I lurked and lurked for just ages. But then, he has that way of getting you in to participate on just that really low level. So even if you're just lurking, you're like, you know what? I could take a picture of myself with a piece of bread on the ground.
Yep. One of the things he's referred to, some of the things he's built are, like web toys and web games and those kinds of things. And there's always this element of a unique approach to technology to kind of create the foundation for how these interactions occur. But by and large, it's not about the technology. It's about the people who are connecting one to another and building that community. And definitely one of the things that I've seen, just following the threads that have been growing with the way that the forums have been being built, is that when new people come to it, a lot of them are expressing that, how they've been lurking or they're kind of shy about jumping in. But others, they're brand new and they take the jump and they fall right in. It's a community thing as opposed to a tech or geeky thing, even though that's there too.
I definitely agree. I probably wouldn't still be with it if it was just about the tech.
Yeah.
Because I lose patience with people who are obsessed with tech.
Right.
But I love this forum, and again, because it's the community, and the first thing that I ever did was actually a pretty big thing, I think, and it was the video for Ray.
Oh, right. That goes back several years. That was a lot of fun. Sure. Yeah.
And I don't know what it was, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to dive in with this. And what I made a part of the video. I was working at the time as a zookeeper at this really small zoo, and on weekends it was just the staff. And one of my friends, he was part-time staff, I knew was going to go to film school, and I was like, you know what? I do this internet thing, and it requires a video. Would you be at all interested? And he was like, let's do it. And my other co-worker, we worked together on Sundays, she was like, sure, why not? And we made a little chunk of the video for Ray, and it was the most fun that I think we probably had at work in a long time.
It was a neat project to see how many people jumped on board, and as one element of having it be a thing, but then secondarily to see how it affected Ray, and how people were so thrilled to actually see the results of that.
And maybe that's why I jumped in, because it was community and it was community building, but it was also what can our community do for this guy who just put something out there on the internet with no hopes or aspirations, but was so genuine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we took that and we gave it back to him.
And I think that's what it's all about. That's the key. Relationships have grown out of that, in the sense that that's how we've come to know one another in the sports racer community. And not just through posts, but through actually building things together and expressing some of our creativity and our desire to be part of something kind of cool and unique. And that's, I think, it's not what you normally would associate with internet activity. So
definitely, yeah. Sometimes it's a bit like, well, this is what I did. How
right.
Cool. And here it's like, I can only do this one part of something. I need 10 people to do these 10 other parts.
Right. Yeah, I love it. Hang on a second. Coffee time.
Chug, chug, chug.